Bringing in Arkansas Republican Congressman Rick Crawford, chairman of the House Intelligence Committee, and a Gang of Eight member who was informed of the U.S. strikes by Secretary of State Marco Rubio earlier this week. Congressman, good to be with us on this very important afternoon. So the news that the Ayatollah is dead, that takes away the very top of the theocratic leadership there in Iran. We don't know what is left beneath him. It was believed that Pezeshkian might have been at the meeting, though he doesn't really hold power in Iran. We don't know if members of the IRGC top leadership were there as well. But where do you think this all stands at this point, and where is it headed?
Well, I think Trey gave some great insights into the succession plan. I mean, certainly an organization like this regime had taken into consideration a potential succession plan in the event of something like this taking place. And so I think it's reasonable to think that there is someone that is going to be positioned to fill that void. That said, I think that what you'll continue to see is in the aftermath, evaluating the situation, what needs to be done next, what are the next steps. I don't know, I haven't been briefed on that particular part of what the next steps are. This is one of three really prime concerns that were addressed. Obviously, the nuclear proliferation was one, and another was the continuing production of and deployment of ballistic missiles, short, intermediate, and long-range ballistic missiles. And so this is maybe a three-legged stool, if you will. One of those legs is gone. And so they're going to have a hard time continuing to stand without that third leg. Now, that does mean that there probably is going to be a successor. We don't know who that is yet. I suspect that our top officials probably have some insight. They haven't briefed me on it, but I would fully expect that there is a succession plan in place.
Mr. Chairman, thank you very much for joining our coverage. As we do confirm, the Supreme Leader has been killed. We also know, obviously, to be looking for any sort of retaliatory action here in the Homeland. The FBI issued an alert via Kash Patel saying that FBI personnel are fully engaged in the situation overseas. Last night, they instructed the counterterrorism and intelligence team to be on high alert and mobilize all assisting security assets needed. We also heard a statement from the New York State governor alerting to heightened awareness. What can you tell us as far as the overall threat as it pertains to the homeland?
Well, this has always been a concern of mine, is that we are adequately postured from a counterintelligence perspective and from a homeland security perspective. And this is certainly not the time to play games with Department of Homeland Security funding. If this doesn't, move the needle for our Democrat friends, I don't know what does. It's time to start taking these things seriously. And so I hope that when we come back, we'll be coming back fairly soon, that will be something that we take up quickly to make sure that our Homeland Security Department is adequately funded and making sure that they have everything they need to protect the homeland.
So, Congressman, on that point, the only Democrat that I've seen, and I might have missed it somewhere, but I don't think I have. The only Democrat I've seen that came out and supported what the president is doing is Senator John Fetterman of the great state of Pennsylvania. Literally every other Democrat who I've seen weigh in on this is criticizing the president. And in that light, would they be inclined to say, oh, you know what, we have to protect the homeland as a result of what's going on in Iran and the threat? Because who knows how many IRGC or regime-friendly people entered the United States in the past 4 years in the Biden administration. I mean, would they be inclined with such criticism of the president to do what you say they need to do, and that is fully fund the DHS?
Well, I would hope so. I would hope that they would put any kind of partisan beef they have with the president, to the side and start recognizing the need to take care of our national security officials and the departments that are responsible for making sure that the homeland is protected. I want to commend our Pennsylvania Senator Fetterman for having the pragmatic view and understanding. And to your point, I think he's the only Democrat that's made that point. But look, this is not the time to play political games or score political points. So let's secure the homeland. It doesn't, however you want to spin it, you can do that if you want to. But the fact remains that we need to fund the DHS and make sure that our homeland is adequately secured.
Got it. Mr. Chairman, appreciate you joining our coverage this afternoon. Thank you very much.
Sure thing.
Thank you.
All right, so